just maybe, we got 34 of these. We can do 3 pulls. Let's see how it goes. Maybe I can get lucky. Maybe not. I don't know. Holy shit, guys. SSR. SSR. First pull. Please, 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 please be something good, please. What did we get? Who did we get, or what did we get? Plume sword? What? Oh, man. Are you shitting me? That's what I get?
Oh, he just don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about day 5 progression as far as what you need to be doing, where you're going to get stalemated or bottlenecked. And I'm also going to be showcasing a weapon that is absolutely bonkers. In fact, 2 weapons that are absolutely bonkers for your Gen Wu, especially if you get lucky in your pull. So as far as my progression, guys, or especially on day 5, you're going to get stalemated right here on this encore mission at chapter 7. Once this finishes, you should be able to kind of get through here and finish all of these other ones, as far as I can tell, to be able to finish chapter 7 today. So I'm just going to wait for the encore missions. We'll probably get stuck here. Actually, we'll get stuck here because we'll have another encore mission here. So we'll get stuck again today on this one. So day 4 and day 5, you're pretty much just kind of slowly progressing. You really want to be doing as much of the story mode as you can to try to level up your characters as much as you can. Try to get your level up as high as you can. I'm still 25% on hard. And on normal, we're 54%. So I pushed it a little bit more. Yesterday, we're at 51%. Today, we're at 54%. But I can't go any further because we need level 41 Gen Wu to try to go any further. And let's take a look at the weapons that I'm talking about for good old Gen Wu. So these 2 weapons, guys, are absolutely bonkers. There's another weapon, the Plume Sword, is also insanely is also insane, but I don't have that thing. I actually have it on my main account, but these 2 weapons are bonkers. This one here I actually did a pull for, and I was actually disappointed when I got it, and then when I used it I was like, oh my god, this thing is an all-in-one weapon. So let's read this thing, guys. So when water spray lands, it has a 100% chance to apply cold ice effect to the target, which means that you're going to freeze the target. You apply the freeze to the target and it interrupts them on top of that. So you're literally got some CC with this weapon, and when this effect ends, it deals additional damage to the target equal to 10% of their damage taken during the duration, increasing your damage for that 4 seconds. And when you level this thing up, you're going to get applies a deep erosion effect targets with cold ice effect, which is going to increase your elemental damage by 24%, increasing damage taken by targets that have elemental weaknesses by 24% for 15 seconds. Just one dupe of that thing is going to make it even more god tier. Then, of course, you get the 10% water damage increase with 2 dupes. Then with 3 dupes, you're going to get the cold ice effect, increase user additional damage by 20% instead of 10%. 4 dupes, you're going to decrease the skill cooldown of water spray by 20%, which means you're going to be able to use it more often throughout the fight, which means in turn you're doing more damage. And then increase damage dealt to frozen targets by 50%. That is insane. 5 dupes for that thing. And the best thing about this thing is, you do have the CC, you do have a little bit of a range, but the thing that kind of sucks about it is you do have to wait a moment for it to engage. You can get interrupted before you do use the skill, so you have to be very careful about using. You find that's kind of a lot of the ways that some of these weapons are. That's why the plume weapon is actually really god tier, because you don't really have to wait so much for it. It doesn't really get interrupted as bad as, say, something like this or something like the scythe. And the shadow scythe is actually awesome as well, guys, because when using Essence Harvest, consumes 5% of current HP, which isn't good, and increases skill damage by 100%, which is good. If the user's current HP is below 70%, the Edge of Darkness effect is applied, and the Edge of Darkness increases user critical hit rate by 25%. For Gen Wu, that is nuts, because you're literally giving him the critical rate, critical damage set. He's all about crits, so increasing that critical hit rate is going to mean he's going to do a lot more critical hits, he's going to do a lot more damage, increase your dark damage by 10% with 2 dupes, 3 dupes. When users' current HP is 60% or below, they recover 0.4% of their current HP every time the skill hits. This thing does a lot of hits. So you can actually get a heal from this thing with 3 dupes. And then 4 dupes decrease cooldown of Essence Harvest by 20%, which again is exactly like I said earlier for the Grimoire. And then increased damage taken by 15%, but increases attack by 15%. So very massive weapon for Gen Wu. Just awesome, guys. Like, so powerful for him. And we're going to jump into the, well, if this thing ever stops loading, we always got to deal with that, right? It seems I'm always making a comment about that. But we're going to go into Battlefield of Trials, and we're going to do floor 10. And just like I said before, we're in Battlefield of Trials, every 5 stages you're going to get summon tickets. So let's go ahead and try to queue this up. Now, I'm going to be using this team right here, guys. These are the kind of characters I'm kind of focusing on. And just a little tidbit for you guys, especially on day 4, day 5. If you are, doing a free-to-play account, a little tidbit for you is these are not optimal really for this guy at all. But I just put him on there to increase the power because, if I change this artifact, guys, if I decide to change it, right, and equip it or whatever, it's not going to cost me anything, right? It's not going to cost me nothing, okay? So that's kind of the thing. It isn't leveled up. If it's leveled up past level 10, if you enhance it past level 10, then it costs gold to change it. So we want to go ahead and put this thing back on, old boy. We want that defense, especially, and that dark damage for old boy. And then we're going to get, also these extra set effects. It's not ideal, but sometimes, when you're free to play and you're early on in this game, you got to just take the good with the bad and just equip whatever. I mean, I've equipped opposite ones on here just to get a little extra power to increase my damage. And then, of course, we have this set right here. This is actually really good for him. This is not the ideal set for this guy at all, but it's the only ones I have available to try to increase my team members' attack. And then we're also going to be using this guy right here because of his break. And see, we do have this set right on him that does increase damage, which is good when user has 50% HP or less. It's not, again, this is not really ideal for this guy because he does have a shield. It's not likely that he's going to get below 50% HP. However, if you have a 4 set, getting below 70% HP is feasible with that increased effect by 30%. I'm not saying this is optimal, guys. Again, I just put it on him, just increase power because, if you look, guys, I don't have a lot of artifacts, right? Just haven't been able to farm a whole lot because, again, it's a free-to-play account, and this is day 5. But this is the ideal set for old boy for sure. The break set is definitely ideal for them, okay? So let's jump in here, guys. Let me show you what this weapon can do. Now, I realize I got a lot of power, but just watch this thing. It's so crazy, all right? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Uh-oh. This is like one of the worst stages. Like, all these ants. So annoying. All right. And here we go. And look at this thing. Whoa. And then we use the scythe. Look at that break. All right, let's go. Nice little dodge there. And here we go. Look at that thing, guys. Look at that thing. Just nuts. Oh, it just murders the living dog crap out of this thing. It's so insane because you got the range, you got the freeze, you have all that extra damage. And this is a weapon without even having a dupe. All right, it's a weapon without even having a dupe. And you notice the scythe is also insane. The thing that's nice about the book is that it does freeze. You have that CC, whereas with the scythe, you're just kind of sitting in front of them. It's awesome, but you can get interrupted easy, whereas with the book, man, if once you get it off, guys, as long as you can get it off, you won't get interrupted, right? And you'll probably notice also that on my Gen Wu, I do have a skill here. This skill with this rune actually applies a freeze. So I can actually use this freeze, interrupt the target, and then use my book to do another freeze on top of it. Because if I freeze the target, then it gives me enough time to easily use my book to get it done, right? Because I won't get interrupted. It's a really, really sweet little setup. We'll jump in here. We'll go ahead and do it again, right? Day 5 already passed stage 10 in Battlefield of Trials, which is pretty awesome, guys. Like, this account is honestly doing a lot better than my other account. All right, and really, ideally, you're really trying not to use your skills too much. You really want to save it for the boss, all right? Because you got a long cooldown on those things, right? Especially on your weapons. So we're going to go ahead, and then we freeze them, and look at that. See? See what I'm talking about? That is what I'm talking about. Now, we don't want to use the scythe, guys. We want to get a break here. Now we got that break. We're going to go ahead, use the scythe, and just murder. That's how you do it with these bosses, especially if you have these weapons, right? I get that freeze from the skill, then I can use my, my weapon, and just use both those weapons to try to get it done and destroy these bosses. Like, it's so awesome. I got so lucky with that book. It's not even funny, my friends. Oh my God. Like, seriously, that thing is insane.
He's all mine.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, I tried dodging.
The strongest healer has appeared. Now, shut up.
And then we have the break. We're going to go ahead and use our freeze weapon. And honestly, guys, you really would probably be better off. You'd probably be better off to use your scythe after the freeze, to be perfectly honest. After you break, you should really just use your scythe. And then you can use your other weapon if you do have it. I don't really like using this, there we go, there we go. Now I'm waiting for some break. There we go, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go, now we want to use our scythe. Okay, use the scythe. I'll use my skill, get the freeze, and then use the weapon. Get the freeze. Dodge, get out of the way. There we go. And look at that. Like, we could do this all day, guys, with these weapons. Like, seriously, so lucky, man. So if you guys get, like, these things, like, this is really a great game mode, because this is what you use to level up your weapons, right? And that's why I need to farm this, and why you need to farm it, because this is what you need to level those things up, because those things add so much power to your characters. I mean, it's absolutely astronomical, guys, how good both of these weapons are. Again, the plume weapon is still, like, top tier, but man, these two are awesome, guys. Like, seriously, if I had that plume weapon and then I had the book on top of it, whew, like, seriously. But I'm pretty happy, guys. That thing is absolutely bonkers. Let me know what you think about it. I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GT plus 7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.